Hi guys, and welcome to my quest guide for the 2020 free-to-play quest Violet is Blue 2. Now to start this quest you need to have completed Violet is Blue. There are no skills required, no items required, and no enemies to defeat. And to start the quest you need to head to the Land of Snow portal, which is just northwest of the Taverley Lodestone. So once you get to the portal, go ahead and speak to Posty Pete, who is just outside. Go through his chat. And choose Accept Quest. Go through the portal to the Land of Snow. When you get through, go ahead and speak to Posty the Imp. Go through his chat and there'll be a cutscene. Choose any option here, it doesn't matter. Once you finish going through the chat, head north up the hill towards Violet's house. And then go ahead and knock on the door. You will get a little cutscene. Just hold spacebar and go through the chat. Once you've got control again, head to the room in the northwest. And speak to Violet. When Violet's finished speaking, head back into the main room and then search the chest on the east wall of the house. Next, you need to search the rug in Violet's room. Go back into the living room and on the west wall, search the fireplace. And then you need to search the barrel of fish, which is just underneath the staircase. You might need to move the camera around to see it. Then go through the chat with Violet and choose option 2. What should we do? Go ahead and follow Violet out of the house. And speak to Violet. Choose any option you wish. You'll get a bit of a cutscene. Just hold spacebar and go through the chat. When you've got control again, go ahead and speak to one of the snow imps. And then just go through the chat. And then head south, out of the gates. You will end up at an abandoned farm. Go south. And you'll need to search a crate next to one of the doors. Now, the easiest way to see it is to zoom in and turn your camera around. And then you will see the chest just next to the westernmost door. An imp will show up with a Christmas hat on. The name will change, but it will be something Claus for everyone. So go ahead and go through the chat with him. Choose option 3. At least you got out before Christmas. Once you finish going through the chat, you will come to Yeti Village and get a cutscene. So just keep going through the chat again. Once you've got control again, go to the northwest of the Christmas tree and speak to Assistant Brad. Choose option 1. How can we help out? Head north and go over the bridge. And then just to the west of the bridge is a Christmas tree farm. Head in there and speak to Taylor. Go through the chat, and when you've finished talking, go to the west side of the farm and inspect the wonky tree. Once you've got control again, head back into the town. Go ahead and speak to Assistant Brad again, just northeast of the tree. Okay, now go just south of that and speak to Assistant Susie. So the next thing you need to do is to knock on 4 different doors around town. Now the doors that you need to knock on will come up with a prompt, but the first one is just to the east of the tree, and it's like on the south side of the house. Go ahead and knock on the door and go through the chat. For the next 2 doors, head north, and as you go through the gap in the houses here, there is 1 door on the left-hand side and 1 door on the right-hand side. Go ahead and knock on each one and go through the chat. And then head over to the other one. Now the 4th door is just to the southwest of the tree. There's a big sign saying the Mug Inn. Go ahead and knock on the door there. Once you've done that, go ahead and speak to Assistant Susie again. And now she'll want you to decorate 4 houses and 5 lampposts. So the first lamppost is right next to you, just southwest of where you stood with Assistant Susie. There is another one just to the northeast of the tree. There is one just northwest of this one. Now the 4th one is just east of the tree. Over near the door we knocked on, the very first one. And then the final lamppost is to the south. So we'll go south up the hill. You'll see a lamppost just on the right hand side. And now we need to find 4 houses that need decorating, and you decorate these by clicking on the doors. Now the first one is the Mug Inn where we knocked before. They're actually the 4 houses we already knocked on. So then go north to the entrance and click on the door to the left of the entrance bridge and the door to the right. And then just southeast of here to the east of the tree. Same one on the south side of the house. Once you've decorated everything, go ahead and speak to Assistant Susie again. Next, we need to speak to Assistant Timothy, who is northwest of the tree. Go ahead and speak to Posty, the imp who's just walking into town. Now, once you're done chatting, you will need to speak to 4 children around town in order. So go directly west, and there is Elizabeth, just south of this cart here, you need to speak to first. Next, you will need to go east of the tree and speak to Peter. It's inside the little fenced area by this house. The 3rd child you need to speak to is Mozzie, who is southeast of the town. It's easy if you look at the minimap, you can see the yellow dots of where they stood. And then the 4th one you need to speak to is Neil, and he's at the south side of the town. So if you head up that hill we were at earlier, he stood in the house. Just at the top of the hill here. Once you've gone through the chat with Neil, you will notice Santa's naughty and nice list on the floor outside the house. So go out and pick that up. And then head back to the centre of town and return the list to Posty the Imp. He stood just north of the Christmas tree. So when you finish talking to him, the next one you'll need to speak to is the imp with the Santa hat on, the something claws. Once you've gone through the chat between him and Violet, head to the south side of the tree and talk to Hal the snow impling. He is going to help us decorate the Christmas tree. So once you've finished talking with him, we're going to head up the hill to the house in the south side again. So head on up the hill and stand on the snow outside the house. It won't work if you go through the archway. Once you get up here, click on the snow impling in your backpack and it will throw it to the tree. You need to do this 3 times. You will get a mark on the screen showing that each one is complete. So just wait till it pops up to throw again. Once you've done that, head back down to the centre and speak to your imp with the Santa hat on again. Something Claus. You'll go through a bit of a cutscene again. Just go through the chat. Go ahead and speak to Violet again. And you'll end up back at Violet's house. Once you get back, go ahead and knock on the door again and go inside. Once you get in, go ahead to speak to either Betty or Trevor. Hold down spacebar and go through the chat. And after that conversation, you'll get your quest complete. So for completing the quest, you will receive 1 quest point, 3 lamps, a lamp of joy, wonder and laughter, which will get 4,000 experience each. You'll get a fairy light necklace and a cosmetic override. You'll get a fairy light whip with a cosmetic override and 2 treasure hunter keys. So that's quest complete and well done.